Just lived up the road. I just in an apartment complex when we moved to Delaware, and because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? It had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
The fuck?
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
You know, somehow, I told you so just doesn't quite say it.
How are you guys doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure you guys are following me on the platforms you see above and below. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. That way my content can stay consistently recommended to you. And if and when you do subscribe to the channel, clicking that bell notification will bring up another tab that will allow you to select all notifications. And don't forget to go check out my other channel called Man, Husband, Father. The link is down in the description. We're going to take deep dives into conversation in regards to being a man, husband, and father, in which it should go in that order. Ladies, you are definitely welcome because we're going to get into some deep topics over there, okay? All right, folks. So we're going to be talking about this, of course, because you guys know it's one of the things that's trending, but I want to throw something out there real quick while it's fresh in my brain. Is this distracting us from something? Possibly. I would say it's already distracting from the fact that we heard the Hurd report and Joe Biden was clearly out of his mind and already did a video showing you guys how pissed off the media got whenever Hurd came out with the report and said President Biden was just an elderly man with a very poor memory. But, he just pretty much spiking everybody's conspiracy theory minds when everybody thought that President Biden was on the hinge of being demented, yada, yada, peanut butter, blah, blah, blah. We said several times that President Biden was not looking well, was not acting well, and all this. You heard it from several medical professionals, including myself and other professionals in medicine, doctors, PAs, OPAs, oncologists, radiologists. You heard it from several people online giving their opinion about President Biden's mental decline, right? We know that his son apparently died of brain cancer. And now here it is. We finding out that President Biden has prostate cancer and has had prostate cancer for some time. And now for it to metastasize to his bone, which means it was there for a while, ladies and gentlemen. And the crazy thing about all of this is that a lot of folks, no matter who you are, y'all, this evil system is going to cash in. All of a sudden, that guy's talking about my book, when they already had this information. Anyway, before I rant any look, I'm sounding like Biden myself. Joe Biden said, don't do that, don't joke. I've always done it. I'm not going to stop doing it. Before I found out that President Biden had anything going on cancer-wise or anything like that, I still was saying that when I gaped and messed up with my tongue and everything like that, I would say I'm having Joe Biden encephalitis. So, yeah, kill me over it. Anyway, verbally speaking now. Check this out anyway.
The Daily Show host Jon Stewart is calling out Jake Tapper over his new book about former President Joe Biden. The comedian is questioning why Tapper didn't report on Biden's mental decline sooner after Tapper told his audience, quote, "You will not believe what we found out."
Don't news people have to tell you what they know when they find it out? Isn't that the difference between news and a secret? Breaking news in a week.
Tapper has been accused by some of being part of a broader media cover-up over President Biden's mental fitness while in office. And those are your headlines. I mean,
it is. You have to
he
see
can
the
land a
bottom.
joke.
True. It's a killer.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Because all they're doing is trying to sell this guy's book when he could have had those same contacts, got those same answers 4 years ago. And the New York Post, in their editorial today, said there's got to be a bipartisan look on why the 25th Amendment wasn't used.
100%.
Because there are cabinet secretaries that said that his meetings were incomprehensible, and they needed to give the questions to their own president ahead of time so we can get the answers on a card.
I asked Pete Buttigieg this at the DNC, and these people lie so much, and he pretended like it never even happened. And now they're saying we need a ceasefire because now, and we're all praying for the president. Trust me, we believe in prayer. But the idea, just because he has cancer, that we're just going to let this be swept under the rug is not happening.
Well, he says the cover-up doesn't work when everyone knows they're lying. He said it's weird that the news news is selling you a book about the news they should have told you was news a year ago.
Right. And by the way, Zeke Emanuel, who worked for Biden's transition team and was his COVID advisor, said he did not develop cancer in the last 100 to 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency. I don't think there's any disagreement on that. And that Dr. Kevin O'Connor should hand in his lab coat between saying the president was thinking clearly and was 100% healthy.
All a lie.
A big lie, or the worst doctor ever.
Yeah, so you even see right then and there, let's keep it real. I don't care what the people say. That man is trying to capitalize off of Joe Biden's illness and then promote his book. Plain and simple. That's what it's about. But the thing is, no matter what, folks, I'm going to have a hard time believing that any of the Democrats that sat there like Chuck Schumer, Biden is sharp. He's sharp as a tack. He's as sharp as any samurai sword. And he's the president. Gavin Newsom was one of them. I mean, the guy is smart. I mean, he does everything. Well, I mean, he does a lot more than what I can. And I'm just a governor. And I mean, he's doing all sorts of things. And what about Karine Jean-Pierre, press secretary? Joe Biden is doing good, and good is Joe Biden's doing. And quite frankly, I have a lot of things I have to do on a daily basis, and he still seems to be running circles around squares and doing squares around complete triangles. So you know, we all knew something was wrong with President Biden, but at the same time, the fact that they thought that we were stupid enough to where they tell you don't believe your lying eyes, don't believe your lying ears that you're hearing what's going on. It's a stutter bullcrap. Nevertheless, folks, I'm not here to cramp all this into your brain and have you going, oh, Todd, we heard enough. But a lot of people do want to know what the current president has to say about all this. Check it out.
Do you want to respond to President Biden being diagnosed with cancer? Are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital. I do it. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right. You proud of me? Yes. Your husband would be proud of me for getting them all right. It's a little risk. If I didn't get them all right, these people would be after me. It would be not a good situation. But I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test. They say it's unconstitutional, but I would say in that particular case, having a cognitive test wouldn't be so bad. But when you take tests, medical, as a male, that test is very standard. I don't know if it's given to everybody, but it's given just about. And it takes a long time to get to that situation. Now, I think, to get to a stage 9, I think that if you take a look, it's the same doctor that said that Joe was cognitively fine. There was nothing wrong with him. Well, he said, if it's the same doctor, he said there was nothing wrong there. And that's being proven to be a sad situation. And the auto pen is becoming a very big deal. The auto pen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the auto pen. But when they say that that was not good, they also, you have to look and you have to say that the test was not so good either. In other words, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed. And I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor, if it's the same, or even if it's two separate doctors. Why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so. It's very dangerous. Look, this is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. Look at the mess we're in. You're talking about all these questions on Ukraine and Russia that would have never happened. As an example, if I were president, would have never happened. The other thing is you have to say, why did it take so long? I mean, when this takes a long time. It can take years to get to this level of danger. So it's a very, very sad situation, and I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened, because I'll tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. Walter Reed is really good. They're some of the best doctors I've ever seen. I don't even know if they were involved, but a doctor was involved in each case. Maybe it was the same doctor, and somebody is not telling the facts. That's a big problem.
Now, you can say what you want to, but to be quite honest with you, President Trump could have been a lot harsher on that, but he didn't. But at the same time, we can use this opportunity right now because I tell you guys all the time, people can lie. You can have your truth, my truth, and the truth. But one thing that does not lie, also, it never lies. Nature. Nature will not lie. Reason why I say that because look what happened in Joe Biden's case. Nature will not lie. The doctors lied. Any of them on that specialist team, the doctors, primary care, oncologists, radiologists, physical therapists, whoever the doctors are on this team that are specialists, that said that this man is completely fine, clean bill of health, yada, yada, peanut butter. They lie. But you know what doesn't lie? Nature. The cancer does not lie. They had all this time to get this right to let the American people know. But to be quite frank with you, I think this was nothing more than a whole setup. They were anticipating Kamala Harris, who, by the way, I will be doing a video on that, how Trump is going after them for paying to get endorsed by celebrities and all that. That's another ballgame. But they completely covered this whole ordeal up, ladies and gentlemen. Plain and simple. That's it. The media was in on it. A lot of the Democrats were in on it to sit there and act like we were going to be duped into not thinking that something was wrong with President Biden. When to me, in my opinion, the whole plan was to hope and pray that President Biden, if he would have screwed up that debate and showed everybody who he's always been showing everybody who he was, being demented, if that had not happened, they would have went on, let's just say hypothetically, if President Biden would have went on to win the presidency. They would announce this just like they are right now. He's incompetent. He's not fit to run. And guess who would have took over?
So, guys, I want to make an announcement that right now I'm going to be taking over for Joe, and he can't do it anymore. And I'm stepping in to be the first black female president of the United States.
Yeah, that's what we would have got. Yeah. Anyway, but God, thank you, Lord, that people were smart enough, we American brothers and sisters, were smart enough to vote the right way and got the results. Folks, let me know what y'all think about all this by putting it in the comment section after this video. And I don't care if you like President Biden or not. Definitely prayers for him. I don't wish death upon people at all. Well, I won't say that. It's some people. But in this case, not President Biden, because guess what? It's not his fault. All the people that are working with evil spiritual entities and all that, globalists, all of you are responsible for this because President Biden was just a shell that they were using to put their will in and have him carry it out. Auto pen. Anyway, again, let me know what y'all think of this by putting it in the comments below. After this video, do not forget to do what you see in this animation right here. That would greatly help your boy's channel. If you want to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, it's going to be that one up there. Things I did as of yesterday, right here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.